Everybody, how y'all doing on this Sunday? Um, I'm coming to y'all. Know it's been a while, and I apologize for that. I've been very busy, and um, I just finally mustered up some time to make a new video. So here it is. Today's uh, vlogging. I'm gonna be vlogging. Today's thoughts are going to be about Hurricane Michael, Melania, First Lady Melania Trump, and uh, of course the Dallas Cowboys, and my take on what's going on with them because they seem to be in a slump. So we're going to talk about all these things. First thing I want to point to is my bandana. If you can see, it's pink. And that's right, this is October and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, we can't stress enough for you to go out and get your checkups and take care of yourselves. And so this is the month that you should do that every day, every month, do your checkups and things. But of course, we have this 1 month that's set aside to bring awareness. So go ahead and get that done, okay? Take care of yourselves. And now, moving on to my first topic, it's going to be the Hurricane Michael. I want to talk about this hurricane. Hurricanes occur every year. We brace ourselves for them. But I have to say that this hurricane, I don't know if we could have ever imagined, if Florida could have ever imagined going through something like that. It hasn't happened. I think they said since 1960. This storm that impacted the Florida Panhandle, Mexico City, Mexico Beach. I'm sorry, Panama City in Florida, and just that whole area in Florida has been devastated by the storm. It hit landfall at clocking in about 140 miles per hour, started at 155 miles per hour, and decreased by the time it moved up through Georgia, North Carolina, the Carolinas, Virginia. It had become, it lost its, wind. It dropped down from a category 4, which the category 4 that we're talking about was actually just two on the wind factor. It was about 2 miles per hour shy of being a category 5. So when we talk about how powerful this storm started out as, then we can see the devastation. It was almost a category 5 storm. Then it made landfall. As it moved up north towards Georgia and the Carolinas, Virginia, it started dwindling down. So what we can say about the storm is it left a lot of people. I can't even find words to say. When I've been surveying, looking at different news reports about this storm, and I've been looking at many people making their own videos, it really caught a lot of people off guard, because many people, before the storm came, Many people were just saying, "Oh, we've been through this before, and we've been through these types of storms before, and this is not going to be anything. It's, we'll just stay put." A lot of people stayed put. A lot of people didn't take this storm as serious as the reports. It's like, I guess they thought it was another, um, you know, um, boy crying wolf, I guess. In other words, they're used to it, I guess. So they more than likely didn't take it as serious as they should have. And it's unfortunate because there were a few people, um and there's already been deaths reported, I think 11, maybe possibly more, as the search and rescue team is out. There's been reports that people are still without electricity, still without um, food, water, all kinds of devastation. Homes have been destroyed, businesses, schools. It's just um, like cities have been wiped away. It's almost apocalyptic. Okay. It's someone said it's beyond catastrophic. It's just apocalyptic, and it is. When if you have had a chance to look at the devastation of Florida, and especially if you live there, this has to be, it's just heartbreaking to watch these reports, and to watch these people are going to have to try to rebuild the best way they can. And those who have lost their lives, this is even more tragic than just losing your homes and things like that. They've lost their lives. So, what I would like to say to people in the near future, when any type of threat, whether it's natural disaster or any type of threats or anything that your government officials advise you to, if they say mandatory evacuations, if at all possible, you can always rebuild a home, but you can't rebuild a life once it's taken. So, personally, I would always recommend that people would just take heed to these warnings. That's what the most tragic part about this is, the people that lost their lives, the people, and then people losing everything. It's devastating, but as we help each other and help rebuild, it's going to take time, and it is uncomfortable. It's more than uncomfortable. It is heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, especially if you are the one going through it, because I know here in Virginia, we actually, it was devastating. We had power outages, and some people weren't even prepared for that. We had just power outages, high winds, but nothing like 155 miles an hour. But, a couple of trees toppled over, knocked out our electricity and things like that. But we can't even imagine what the people in Florida are going through right now. And we can just only just pray and help it the best way that we can. So, on that note, just praying for the people of Florida to just hang in there. I'm praying for hoping that FEMA will, and anyone who can assist these people will go out and do it. No excuses, no, oh, we can't. It's got to be yes, we can, and yes, we will, and yes, we are. That's what I'm hoping for. And I just hope that the Floridians will have the courage to work together and stay together, and just survive and just get through this the best way they can. That's the only thing they can possibly do right now. And that others will just step in and help out. It's going to be a long process. So, just looking to look ahead. That's all we can do. Um, so moving on to another topic. another topic that was concerning me was the First Lady, Melania Trump. The First Lady seems to feel like she's the most bullied person ever, I guess. I don't know if she said ever, but she just feels like right now, I guess, she feels like she's being bullied. Um, what I have to say about that is, first of all, you're the first lady uh, of the United States. And, people talking about the way she's dressing, she did make a comment saying that she wished that people would focus more on what she does versus what she wears. People were criticizing when she took her trip to Africa, and they were criticizing her. She felt some kind of way. She felt like she was being bullied. And um being a celebrity, I'm going to say, when especially being a Trump, okay, you are, we're talking about Donald Trump. Before he became president, he was actually a celebrity. He was, uh you know a reality star, a reality show star. And, he owns Miss America. I don't know if he still does, but he owned Miss America. And he was just a person out there. Melania was a model and all this stuff. You're going to get criticism when you're in the public eye. I mean, heck, most of us, somebody is always going to say something about you, and you're going to have to be able to accept criticism. You can't, whine and cry because somebody says something about you. I mean, basically, if you're a human being, you're going to be criticized. I mean, I was bullied in school. I don't know who wasn't bullied, and I'm not trying to make less of bullying, of her comments about being bullied. But if you know what real bullying is, she is not being bullied. People are criticizing her and they're saying things about her. She is the first lady. Now, some Republicans are, whining and saying that, oh, if she were a Democratic first lady, then, oh, people wouldn't be talking about her. Are you kidding me? Look how people dogged Michelle Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, and Hillary Clinton. Okay, just if you are in the public eye, and especially if you're some political figure, I guess she thinks because she's the first lady that people or shouldn't say anything about her. Um, but if you are in the public eye, somebody is going to criticize you. And if she can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. I don't know what else to tell her. Because again, the Republicans said that if she were a Democratic first lady, they wouldn't be saying all these things. That's totally untrue. And then because look at Barbara Bush, may she her soul rest in peace. Barbara Bush, former first lady. Laura Bush, Republicans. People adored these women, okay? And one of the reasons why I can say that Melania is getting a lot of criticism right now. Yeah, some people before would always focus on her fashion when Donald Trump first became the president. They talked about her stilettos, whatever you call them. I don't wear these things. Her high heels, and like how can she go to survey? I think they went down to help survey the land or something when after Hurricane Harvey. So they were talking about her wearing her high heels and how can she do this and do that. And people were making comments about her, yeah. But the thing is, this country has seen a lot of change since Donald Trump became president. A lot of division, so she's gonna get a lot of flack. I'm just basically saying she's getting more flack than usual, because look who she's married to. And I'm gonna make it plain, she is married to Donald Trump. And so you're gonna hear it people don't like his daughter Ivanka. They can't stand Donald Trump Jr. They can't stand anybody. She's not the only one that people are criticizing, and she's feeling some kind of way about it. And maybe she feels like it's unfair, and you know what? Maybe it is, cuz she really is doesn't do anything. But then again, if you're going to associate yourself with someone like Donald Trump, then expect some criticism. Expect some major criticism. Okay? Don't say that it's not fair that people are criticizing you if you're going to side with someone like that. That's all I can say. Because birds of a feather flock together. If you are standing by your husband, you do you. But don't expect us to sit up here and separate, especially if you're going to support him openly the way you are. You're not going against him. Ivanka tried to go against him and he threw her under the bus. So no, none of y'all are going against him. So we're not going to, side with her just because. And then she really didn't help herself with that jacket that she put on, saying something about something about do you really care or something, I don't, or something. Like you're putting yourself out there, Miss First Lady. You're putting yourself out there to be disliked. Like what was your message about that? We don't know. I don't really care, to tell you the truth. No, I don't care. But if you're feeling some kind of way, then you have a right to voice how you feel. But no, do I believe that Melania Trump is being bullied? No, I think it's your typical, this nation is divided. Her husband is the biggest bully on the planet. He's big. Now, I won't say, let's not be extreme and say on the planet, but he is a very he has a very large ego. He does a lot of bullying, and she doesn't seem to know the definition of bullying and being bullied, because her husband is one of the biggest bullies that we know, and yet she sides with him and she doesn't say anything. She doesn't speak out against him in fear of some type of reprimand, or even worse, I don't know. But, don't come at us because we're saying something. I didn't have anything to say about her, but people are coming at her and she's feeling some kind of way. Well, what about y'all? Do y'all think that the First Lady is being treated unfairly or being bullied in some kind of way? Feel free to leave your comments about that. Okay, so moving on to the Cowboys. Okay, remember I told you I was going to talk about 3 topics. Okay, so the final topic, this is Sunday football. This is week 6, and the Cowboys are sitting at, is it 2 and 3? Okay, so today we're, of course, hoping for a win. We're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, okay? Now, what I can say about the Jaguars is they have the number 1 defense in the league right now, okay? So, that's a problem because our defense is lit, all right? Defense is lit. 100% lit, okay? Legit. But our offense, sadly, has been struggling. In fact, we started the preseason 0-4, okay? Didn't win any preseason games. People try to say preseason games don't matter, and that's not an indicator. Maybe for some people. I know one team actually lost all their preseason games and won a few, a couple of their first regular season games. So maybe it doesn't matter for some people, but to me and many other people, it does matter because it prepares you for the regular season, and it also shows you where you are. And are you ready for the regular season? That's what preseason is for. If you didn't need a preseason, then it wouldn't exist. I would hope not. So I'm saying it does matter. A lot of people are saying it does. But moving on from the preseason, we're going to talk about the current season, the regular season that we're in, which we are in week 6, okay? And we got in our division, we have the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Giants. Now, the only team in that's worse in our division, worse than the Cowboys right now, are the Giants, sitting at 1-5. That's not much to say when we are 2-3 right now. And I'm not even going to begin to talk about how Jason Garrett gave the game away in overtime. Okay. Now we got kicker Mar. Okay. That, of course, everybody should know by now that Dan Bailey is no longer with the Cowboys. And we know, if you don't know, the main reason is because, Jerry Jones said that we felt there was all kind of reports, about why they got rid of Bailey. And they try to say that he wasn't kicking like he used to. And he did have a groin injury. Elite kicker for 6 years. Second best kicker in all NFL history. Okay. Besides Justin Tucker, who's number 1. Then you had Dan Bailey, of the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker, number 1. Then you got Dan Bailey, number 2 of the Cowboys, right? Former Cowboys member. But to me, he'll always be, DC4L, okay? That's me. But, he had a groin injury. Been with the Dallas Cowboys for 7 years. Had a groin injury his last year. Basically carried the team for the 6 years that he was there. I call him the MVP of the Dallas Cowboys, okay? Because let me tell you why, and let me tell you how the Dallas Cowboys have been operating. They have been relying on their kickers, with the exception of, I say, 2016, 2014, things like that. When, Dak and Zeke came on the scene, it was like a high for Cowboys Nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were on top of the world. And we had the best O-line in the NFL, and everything was going great, And then, of course, 2017, everything went downhill. Zeke was out on suspension, and everything just started going downhill. And now it just seems like, now, where are we now? We just can't get off of that downhill slope. It's like the Cowboys are in a slope, like a slump. Okay, not a slope, but in a slump. And we as Cowboys fans, we always trying to find a reason. Like, we try to find a reason more than the management tries to find a reason. Not going to say the players, but I'll say management. Like, that's not even our jobs. We are here to enjoy this game as fans, to support our players, to be out there for them. We're not here to make these decisions. And somebody needs to make a decision. We say this every year, okay? Sadly, we're saying this every year. Now, we can say, oh, look at the Browns. But you know what? Look at the Browns. The Browns are right now 3rd in their division. The Steelers are 4th. They're below the Browns. So let's look at the Browns. We are actually worse than the Browns this year. And these Brown fans, these Browns fans, I have to give them kudos. I have to, because year after year, they are out there for their team. And, as Cowboys fans, we have seen the ups and downs. We have seen, I think we just have higher expectations, especially this being America's team, and y'all put yourselves up there. I understand the name was given to y'all back in the 60s or whatever the case may be, but if you're gonna maintain that status and you call yourself America's team, yes, you are held to a high standard. I think everybody in this league should have the standard that we want to win. They should have this high standard of how are we going to win. Okay. That's what I think. But especially as America's team, you really should have this mentality. Okay. It just seems like a broken record, and it's not the players. We got players supposedly throwing each other under the bus or throwing this person under the bus. They're just voicing their frustration. Okay. So what they need to do is get together in the locker room and have a conversation and talk it out. If you feel like one player is not doing his job, then you need to speak up, but not in front of the media, not in front of the fans, and voice your opinions out there and voice your disgruntles. Y'all need to work it out, because what's going to happen is that people outside of your locker room are always looking for an opportunity. They either want to destroy you, or because they don't want you to win, because they feel threatened by you, or because they just are jealous of you, or they will try to, just make drama out of. Some people just love drama. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. People just love the drama. If team members are fighting each other and things like that, they just love that. So, or management is fighting each other, whatever the case may be, they want drama in their lives, and they'll find it wherever they can. And if you provide it for them, then they are even the more happy. So I would suggest that if there is a problem in y'all locker room, y'all need to get together um as a team. Be honest with your coaches. I don't know what kind of locker room y'all have. Can you go to your coaches? Can you actually say how you feel? That's another issue. If you can't talk to your coaches and express your feelings, then that's a problem. Wrong team to be on, because any leader, or whether it's in the NFL or anything, if you can't talk to your employees, and you can't, any bosses can't talk to their employees, don't just be like, oh, I'm here, I'm the boss, and you do what I say. You could actually learn a lot, and your team could actually win based on listening to the ideas of your players. Same thing with people in the workplace. Just not even the NFL, just in any workplace. If you actually would take the time to listen to your employees, because they're the ones out there doing the work, and you might get some input that could actually give you some wisdom and actually help you lead your team, lead your company to victory. Okay. So if you don't have trust in, another thing about Jason Garrett, going back to the Houston Texans, the game versus the Houston Texans, he made a terrible mistake. Some people are standing by his decision, and some people, obviously, the majority of the people are saying, that was a coward move. Like, you go for it on the 4th and 1, okay? You go for it, okay? But Jason Garrett didn't have faith in his offense that they could get 1 yard. Okay, 1. That literally, people, that's all they needed was 1 yard. And he had no faith whatsoever that his offense. Now, we all know that the offense has been a little off. Maybe not even a little, but a lot. But maybe, as I said before, maybe if these coaches would actually show these players that you have faith in them, maybe their confidence would get higher. It's something about them being in a slump. They're playing slowfully. Like, I see Zeke out there trying to run his heart out, I see him trying to catch balls. They throwing the ball to him, catch, he's catching the balls, he's running. Um, you know, I see all that, and I see Dak running for his life, trying to get away because there's no protection. So he's trying to move in the pocket, out of the pocket, sometimes running the ball himself, trying to survive. He's trying to survive.